Hey y'all, welcome back to Just Goodness 333 Little Homestead. Today is our very first day harvesting chickens. So I'm going to show you my setup, and I'll take some clips throughout. We're not going to video the whole thing, but I'll take some clips and keep you guys updated. I'm kind of excited and kind of nervous. I wanted to put this out there because I want people who think they may not have a good setup or may not have proper equipment or may not have anything, they can see just how you can do it on a shoestring budget with just a few pieces of equipment. So here goes. You hear some squawking in the back. They're trying to catch Captain Jack. He's going to freezer camp. This is our water we've got. It's right now at 145 degrees. We don't have a kill cone. So what we've done is took a feed sack and I've cut a hole in it here at the bottom, big enough for the chicken's head, and sort of folded it in a cone shape. And just took some scrap wood and I nailed it to the thing. We've got a bucket here we're going to fill with water to catch the blood. I'm going to reuse that in the garden. Then over here we've got a plastic table set up, which I did bleach, but we're having rain showers so it looks wet. And this is going to be our plucking station. And we have another table here, a glass top table for eviscerating. And then we just have an old cooler. It wasn't big enough. We're doing 5 birds today. So I brought out a Rubbermaid tote. We've got ice water in there. And here they come with Captain Jack. Hey y'all, we finally finished the chicken butchering. We did 5 birds. We did an old rooster, a young rooster, and a couple of old hens. And I'm really glad that we chose to do the old hens. I knew they hadn't laid in over almost 3 months. And one of the hens was so egg bound that she would have gotten sick pretty soon. She was still healthy and not sick, so she was really egg bound. She had hard yolks all inside of her. It was really awful. And they were pretty small birds, but we got it done. We have got 5 birds for the freezer, so I want to let you have a look at them. There they are, 5 little birds, all ready for freezer camp. Especially since some of the birds were older, we're going to let them rest overnight. I'm going to leave them in this ice bath for another maybe 30 minutes or so. And then I'm going to take them out, dry them off, and put them in bags and put them in the refrigerator for until tomorrow. Then my daughter's going to come back and we're going to cut them up and put them in the food saver bags. So that was our day today. Tomorrow we'll also be canning up some bone broth that I have been cooking since Christmas with chicken bones that my dad had canned up a bunch of chicken and saved me all the bones. So when you guys see this, it'll just be a minute for you, but it'll be tomorrow for us. That's good. I need a shower. Well, it's the next day. My daughter had to go out of town. I'm not feeling super hot, but I did want to show you dealing with the bone broth, and later we'll put up the chicken. I started this bone broth with bones my dad had when he canned chicken. He pulled the meat off the bones. There was still a little meat on the bones. And I started this Christmas afternoon. It had the fat and the bones. And I also put several onions in here. I put onion skins that I was saving, the ends and the skins. Also, when I would make a whole chicken, I would save the innards, and I would put the innards in here as well. I'm going to strain all of this out, and I'm going to feed this bowl of scraps to my chickens so it doesn't go to waste. Now, since I keep the skin and everything in here, it tends to be a little fatty. And I don't want to drink a bone broth that's really fatty. I mostly use this for a soup starter, but I will drink it. But I wouldn't drink it with this concentration because there's a lot of fat in it. So I'm going to add some extra water. And even though it's delicious on its own, it's delicious on its own for what it is. I'm going to add a little bit of this broth base and seasoning. This is Orrington Farms. It doesn't have MSG and all the other preservatives. I'm allergic to MSG, monosodium glutamate. I'm going to put about 2 good tablespoons in here. Okay, I've got my jars all washed with hot soapy water. They're all nice and clean. Since we will be pressure canning this, we do not have to sterilize the jars. You only have to sterilize your jars if you're water bath canning. So these, as long as they're clean with hot soapy water, we're fine. I have my canning funnel, and I have a fine mesh strainer in here because there's lots of particulates in here that we don't want to get too many of those into our broth. I need a paper towel. Hold on. We're going to fill our jars to an inch head space. That's just at the bottom of the ring right here. I'm going to fill it right here to where these threads begin. There you go. Some people say a 1/2 inch head space. I just think an inch is safe. We're going to do these in the pressure canner. I'm in South Florida. My elevation is 10 pounds. So we're going to do 10 pounds for 90 minutes because there are meat particles and particulates in here. And anytime you do meat, you do 90 minutes. Now, that's just what I've been taught, and that's my understanding. If anyone out there has, you know, a different way you do it, and if the timing, you can do it for a shorter amount of time, then please comment below. But I've just always heard that anything with meat or meat particles in it gets 75 minutes or 70 minutes for pints and 90 minutes for quarts. So we're using quarts today. And we've got particulates. I'm gonna continue filling these jars up, and I'll bring you back when it's time to put the rings on. I wanted to show you this. I have 7 quarts full, but I had some extra. I'm going to freeze this, and I'm going to freeze it in a mason jar. You have to use these wide mouth mason jars. They have to say freeze on them. I'll show you where you can find that. It's very hard to see. You'll see it on the box when you buy them, but right here under the lip, you'll have to read it under a light, and it will say freeze line. This is the line where you can put liquids to freeze because liquids expand when they freeze. So you would not want to fill this up to the 1 inch line or above. You would want to go right here to that freeze line. It points out right there. There. That's to the freeze line, or as close to it as I want to get. And I'm going to put rings on these and lids and rings, and just put them in the door of my freezer. When I'm ready to use them, I'll just take them out, leave them on the counter for a few hours, and we'll be good. Okay, I'm back. We've got all of our 7 quarts all jarred up. And now I'm going to take some vinegar. I just use white vinegar and a paper towel. You can use a rag. You can use apple cider vinegar if that's what you have. And I'm going to wipe pretty hard. I'm going to wipe the rings. Put a lot of pressure because, you know, we're canning something that's a little greasy. We want to make sure that we're getting that off and we don't give our jars any reason not to seal. I'll finish the rest of these off camera. Then we put the lid on. Take your ring. You go finger tight. Finger tight means you're tightening with your fingers. You are not going like that. No. Finger tight. As tight as you can get it with your fingers. I've seen some people say finger tight and they go, no. Finger tight means as tight as your fingers can get. Now I'm going to finish these and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I'm back. We have all of our jars capped and rings on them, lids and rings. And I have my canner. This is my single stack canner. It's a Presto. I like it. And I've got 2 inches of water in there. Usually what I do is stick my finger in and I know where 2 inches is on my finger and I know that's it. We're going to put these in. The water's still a little bit cold and our jars are still a little warm to the touch. So I've got this on high and it's going to come up to heat for just a minute. Okay, our water is up to temperature and we're just going to stack our jars. Mine holds 7 quarts. So put as many jars in there as you can fit in accordance to the guidelines for your canner. There we go. 7 quarts. Okay, everything's in the canner and we've turned it on high and we're going to wait for it all to come up to steam is what I call it. And this little spout here is going to start giving you a column of steam. At the time when you can see it clearly, it's not just a wisp, see it clearly, set a timer for 10 minutes. We're going to let this vent for 10 minutes before we put our weight on. And this is my 10-pound weight. Okay, it's been venting for 10 minutes, so I'm going to take my 10-pound weight, put it right on there. I'm going to leave this on high until this little thing starts just rocking back and forth and what I call spitting. And when it starts doing that, I'm going to turn mine down to 6 on my stove. But you're going to turn it down to the temperature that keeps this steady, making a little noise, but not spewing and spitting and, you know, like crazy. Okay, it was spitting and now it's rocking and I'm going to set the timer for 90 minutes. I've turned the temperature down. On my stove it's down to 6 and it'll keep this steady rocking. You don't want this to ever get still and not do anything. It's okay if it starts going, you know, spitting a little bit every now and then. But you don't want it much.
Hi.
Hi.
Just playing with this.
With a tripod.
Yeah, which you usually go on every time. He usually carries
Okay, there we go. We'll see you guys back in 90 minutes. Okay, the timer's gone off. Our time is up. We're just going to turn the heat off. And we're not going to touch this weight until this pressure valve in the back goes down.
Okay.
When the pressure valve goes down, that means that we've returned back to 0 pounds of pressure. Okay. Alright guys, there you have it. We have 7 quarts of bone stock. And we have 4 pints for the freezer. And I actually had some extra here with the one with the white cap. I'm just going to keep that in the refrigerator for using pretty soon. Now I could have put all of this in a couple of other quarts and canned another batch. Could have put it all in pints and canned a batch of 6. But I have so much stock on the shelf already from Thanksgiving. So I'm just going to put these in the freezer. Put this one in the fridge. We'll make some soup this week. I'm going to use the kale from the garden and some all-natural beef sausage makes a really good soup. Well, that's it. That's the bone stock. And then sometime tomorrow I'm going to put up that chicken and I'll show you what we did with it. Okay, I've got the first little chicken in this 1 gallon bag from Mainstay. This package was like $8.80 and it has 25 quart size bags and 10 1 gallon size bags. These are small chickens. I'm going to weigh them in a minute. But they fit pretty well in this 1 gallon bag. Now let's see how well they work. Okay, it took me about 6 tries, but I got it. And I don't know if it's because I was using this side that has no markings on it was up. I flipped it around and put this side with the white tab on it. I put this side with the white tab on it, face down. I'm doing a video like I told you I was. Okay, here's the end result of the chicken harvest and my honest review of using the Mainstay Walmart brand vacuum seal bags. You can see they lost their seal somehow. They are sealed, but they lost the vacuum. I don't know what happened. They were sealed, they were airtight. I mean, they were pulled super tight, so tight you couldn't see any air left in them. I put them over here on the counter, and all of a sudden they're puffed up again. So the last 2 chickens, I didn't want to waste the food saver bags, so I put them in regular Ziploc freezer bags. These chickens are very small. I told you they weigh anywhere from 2.5 pounds to 3 pounds. They are very small chickens. They were not our meat birds. They were just some roosters and some young roosters and some old hens. Thanks for stopping by the homestead to watch a few little things going on here. And I guess I'll catch you next time. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing. Till next time, bye y'all.